I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
Very near by this. Why, he was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
Few of any sort, and none of them.
Victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Well deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath performed well beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion, and hath better expectation than you must expect to keep tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
Yeah, I have delivered many letters already, and there appears much joy in him. So much so that it can't show itself modest without a badge of bitterness.
I pray you, has Signor Montalto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There's none in the army of any such sort.
Who is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, good.
He's returned as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina once, and challenged Cupid at flight. And my uncle's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid, and challenged him at the bird vault. How many have he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many have he killed? For indeed, I promised to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you're taxing Signor Benedict too much. He'll be meat with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service in these wars, lady.
Huh. You have musty victual, and he hath hoped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman, for he hath an excellent step.
And a good soldier too, lady.
Oh, and a good soldier too, a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But as for the stuffing, you know, we're all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her, and they never meet. But there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Oh, alas, he gets nothing by it. In the last of our conflicts, 4 of his 5 wits went while holding off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. I pray you, who is his new companion? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Not very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, and it ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the man is not in your books.
No. And you were, I'd burn my study. But who is his companion? Is there no young square now who will not make a voyage with him to the devil?
Why, he's in the company of the right and most noble Claudio.
Oh, God help him. Oh, he's sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently now. Oh, God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere procured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Oh, do, good friends, do.
You will never run mad, niece.
Nope, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is a post.
Good Signor Leonardo. Are you come to meet your trouble? For the fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
I never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace, for trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. Oh, I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
No, Benedict, no, for then were you a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may know this by what you are, being a man, but truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonardo be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders, for all Messina is like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. No one marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she had such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Why, courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies. Only you except. I would I could find it in my heart that I had not a hard heart. For truly I love none.
Oh, dear happiness to women. They are now so troubled with a pernicious suitor. Oh, I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. You know, I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than hear a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind. Some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratched face.
Oh, well, scratchings do not make it worse than 'twas such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
How well, sir, my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I wish my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way, in God's name I have done.
Oh, you always end the jade's trick. I know you of old.
Ah, and that's the sum of all, Leonardo. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my good friend Leonardo hath invited us all. Now I tell him we should stay at least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If your grace shall swear, you shall not be forsworn.
Oh, let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not a man of many words, but I thank you.
Please let your grace lead on.
Oh, your hand, Leonardo. We'll go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonardo?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me for my simple, true judgment, like an honest man should do, or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
Pray, speak in sober judgment.
In faith, methinks she is too low for a high praise and too little for a great praise. But only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being none other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I'm in sport. Pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire of her?
The world buys such a jewel.
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder, and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go into the song?
My eye, she's the fairest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. And there's her cousin. And she were not possessed with a fury, doth exceed her as much in beauty as the 1st of May does the last of December. But I hope you've no intent to turn husband, have you?
Scarce trust myself, even if I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is it come to this? Hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to, in faith, thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Ah, look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you. What
What secret hath held you here that you follow not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
Oh, well then I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Don Claudio, I can be as secret as a dumb man. I don't think so. But on my allegiance. Mark you, on my allegiance. He's in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark you how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonardo's short daughter.
This were so were it.
Ah, how then if you love her, for the lady is very well learned.
Sayest this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
Faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
Oh, by my two troughs and faiths, my lords, I spoke mine.
I love her, I feel.
Well, that she's worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will burn it in its stake.
How wast ever an obstinate terror taken the despite of beauty?
Never could maintain his opinion, but by the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a recheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle on an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine of it is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I will see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With sickness, or with anger, or hunger, my lord, not with love. But prove I ever lose more blood with loving than I'll get again with drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen and hang me up as a sign for blind Cupid.
Well, if thou everst fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
And if I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me. He that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try. In time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead. And let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, "Here is good horse to hire." Let them signify under my sign, "Here you may see Benedict, the married man."
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonardo's. Now commend me to him and tell him I will not fail him at supper. Oh, he has made a great preparation.
I have almost enough matter in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
To the tuition of God. From my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometime guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old inns any further, examine your own conscience. And so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
Well, my love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that will do thee good.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
Well, none but Hero, she's his only heir. Now dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, sir. You departed onward on this ended action. I taught her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had rougher task in hand to drive liking to the name of love. Now, I'm returned, and the war thoughts have left their places vacant, and come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is. I like her, I went to the wars.
Well, thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of works. But if thou dost love fair hero, cherish it. Oh, and I will break with her and her father, and thou shalt have her. What? Was this not to the end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweet of you to minister to love, to know love's grief by its complexion. Unless my liking might too sudden seem, I would have solved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant, now that's the necessity. Now look, what will serve as fit his wants. Thou lovest, and I will get thee the revenue. Now I know we shall have revelry tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero that I am Claudia. And in her heart I will unclasp myself, take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale, and then afterwards to her father I will bring, and the conclusion is, thou shalt have her. No, in practice, it's been present.
He provided this music.
He is very busy about it.
Oh, my brother. Shh. I have strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
Well, as the event stems them, but they have a good cover. They show all out. See. The prince and Count Claudio were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to discover it this night in a dance. And, if you found her accordance, meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Had the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream to it appear itself, but I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if, peradventure, this be true. Go you and tell her of it. Cousins, you know what you have to do. Oh, I cry your mercy, friend. Go you with me, and I will use your skill. Good cousin, have a care of this busy time.
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore, the sadness is without meaning.
You should give reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
Well, if not a present remedy, at least a patient suffering.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests, eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure, sleep when I am drowsy, intent on no man's business, laugh when I am merry, and clod no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You had the blade stood out against your brother, and he had taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible that you should take true root, but by the fair weather.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied but I am a plain-dealing villain. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, be that I am. Seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontentment?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. What news, Borachio?
I come yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is being royally entertained by Leonardo, and I can bring you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to go mischief on? What is he for a fool who betroths himself to unquietness?
Marry, it is your brother's right-hand man.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio.
Even he. Brother Squire.
And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Marry he one hero, and daughter, and heir of Leonardo.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Oh, well, while being entertained for a perfumer, smoking in a musty room, comes me the Prince and Claudio in sad conference. So, whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the Prince would woo Hero for his own, and, having wooed her, give her to Claudio.
Come, come, let us hither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup has all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You're both sure you will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
Hearken, the gentleman was. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
Oh, an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. Oh, but the one is too like an image and says nothing at all. And the other, too like my lady's eldest son, ever more talented.
Faith, niece, I will never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd as thy
No, uncle, I'll none. Not till God make man of some metal other than earth.
John, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, do you know your answer?
Oh, the fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. Oh, but if the prince be too important, then tell him there is measure in everything. And so, dance out the answer. For hear me, hero. Wooing, wedding, and repenting is, as a Scotch jig, a measure and a syncopace. The first suit hot and hasty, and the Scotch jig is full of fantastic. But then the wedding, mannerly, modest, is like a measure, full of state and patience. But then comes repentance. And with his bad legs, falls faster and faster and faster into the syncopace until he sinks into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
Oh, have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
Oh, the reference are entering, brother. Wait, wait, wait.
walk about with your friend?
So long as you look sweetly, walk softly, and say nothing. I'm yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
Oh, with me in your company.
When I please,
Oh, it would please you to say so.
if I like your favor, for God defend the lute be as the case.
Well, my advisor is Philemon's roof. Within the house is Jove.
Why then your visor should be thatched.
Oh, well then speak low, if you speak of love.
I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one.
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen.
God, match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
God, then how is my thanks when the dance is done? Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
I know you. You are Signor Horatio.
At a word I am not.
I know you by the way of your
To tell you the truth, I found a bit.
You cannot do me so ill well unless you were the very man. Who are he? You are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come. Do you not think I do not know you by your excellent wit? You virtue hiding something. Grace is a little weird, and there's an end. Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you'll forgive me.
Neither will you tell me who you are.
Not now.
That I was disdainful and had my good wit out of the 100 merry kings? Well, this is Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
Oh, I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I. Believe me.
Did he ever make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he's the prince's jester, a very dull fool. His only talent is in making impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and his commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they both laugh at him and beat him.
I know the gentleman. I'll tell him what you said.
Oh, do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure, not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. And then there's a partridge being saved, for the poor fool will eat no supper that night. Oh, just follow the leaders.
Every good thing.
Oh, nay. If they lead to any ill, I'll leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his, bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She is of no equal to his birth. You may do the part of an honest man.
How know you, sir?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. Hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save for the office and affairs of love. For all hearts in love use their own tongues. But every eye negotiate for herself and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. It's an accident of hourly proof which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your own business, County. Come, what fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck, like a usurer's chain? Or under your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf? Come, you must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
Wish him joy of her.
Oh, that's spoken like honest drover. So they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
Will you leave me?
Now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
Will not be, I will leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now he will creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me, the prince's jester. It may be I go under that title because I am married. Yea, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, the bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Ah, come now, Signor. Where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. And I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had gotten the good favor of this young lady. And I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland, as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod, as worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? Oh, what's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, overjoyed at having found a bird's nest, shows it to his companion, and he steals it.
Well, wilt thou make a trust of transgression? The transgression is in the steal.
Yet it were not amiss that the rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I understand it, have stolen his bird's nest.
Ah! Well, then I will but teach the two birds to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, in faith you say honestly.
Well, the Lady Beatrice, she has a quarrel to you. The man that danced with her said she is much wronged by you.
Ha! She misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak with knight would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking that I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester. That I was duller than a great thaw. Jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks with words, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned spit. Yet, and have cleft his club to make the fire, too. Come, talk not of her. You will find her the infernal Ate in good apparel. I would to God some scholar would conjure her. For certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. And people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Oh, look, here she comes.
Please command me any service to the world's end. Nope. I will go now on the slightest errand to the Antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia. Bring you the length of Prester John's foot. Get you a hair off the great Cham's beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies? Sooner than hold 3 words conference with that harpy. You have no employment for me.
None but to desire your good company.
God, sir, here is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come now. You've lost the heart of good Signor Benedict.
Oh, well, he lent it me a while, and I gave him good use for it. A double heart for his single one. Mary, indeed, he wanted of me with false dice. Therefore, your grace may well say I have lost it.
But you have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
Huh. So I should he not do me, lest I prove the mother of all fools. Well, I brought the Count Claudio, whom you sent me to see.
Now, Count, why are you sad?
I'm sad, my lord.
Oh.
Oh, how then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad nor sick nor merry nor well, but civil. As an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazing be true. Though I'll dare swear if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed but in thy name, and fair hero is won, and I have broke with her father his goodwill obtained, named the day of the marriage, and God give me joy.
Count, give me my daughter. With her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match. And all grace say, Amen to it.
Amen.
Speak, Count, is your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. We're but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, because you are mine, I am yours. I give myself away for you and dote upon the exchange.
Well, speak, cousin. Or, you cannot, then stop his mouth with a kiss, so that he may not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Oh, yeah, thank you, poor fool. Keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
So she doth, cousin.
Oh, good Lord for alliance. Oh, well, thus goes everyone else in the world but I. And I am sunburned. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey ho, for a husband.
Well, Lady Beatrice, I'll go get thee one.
I would rather have one of your fathers get it. Have your grace ne'er a brother like you. Well, your father produced excellent husbands if the maid could come by them.
Would you have me, lady?
No, my lord, no. Not unless I have another one for working days. Your grace is far too costly for me to wear every day. Oh, I beg your grace pardon. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Well, your silence most offends me. But to be merry best becomes you, for, out of question, you were born at a merry hour.
No, my lord. My mother cried. But then a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, have you looked at those things I told you of?
Oh, I cry you mercy, uncle. I your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy elements in her, my lord. She is never sad, but when she sleeps. And not ever sad then, for I have heard my daughter say she has often dreamed of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot bear to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means she mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his...
Not till Monday. His hands are just 7 night, and the time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come. You may shake your head at so long a breathing, but I warrant you, Count, the time shall not go dully by us. I will in the interim undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to unite the Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice in a mountain of affection, the one to the other. Now I would fain have it a match, and doubt not but to fashion it, but if you three will administer such assistance as I should give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office to get my cousin a good husband.
And Benedict is, well, he's not the unhopefullest husband that I know. But this much I may say. He's of noble strain, confirmed valor, and approved honesty. I will teach thee how to humor thy cousin, that she should fall in love with Benedict, and I, with your two helps, will so practice on Benedict that, well, despite of his quick wit and queasy stomach, shall fall in love with Beatrice. Now, if we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we will be the only love gods. Now come in with me, and I'll tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall wed the daughter of Leonardo.
Yes, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I sick and displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affections ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Well, not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Well, show me, briefly.
I think I told your worship, a year since, how much I am in favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of night, appoint her to look out at her mistress's chamber window.
What light is in that? To be the death of the marriage.
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he has wronged his honor and married the esteemed Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up. To a contaminated, stale, such a one as hero.
What proof can I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, vex Claudio, undo hero, and kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue.
Only to despite them. I would endeavor anything.
Go then. Find a meet hour to draw the prince and Claudio alone. Tell them you know that hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal, both to the prince and Claudio, that in love of your brother's honor, who has made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cazoned with the semblance of a maid that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. So, offer them instances which will bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window, hear me term Margaret hero, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding, for I will so fashion the matter that hero will be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of hero's disloyalty, that jealousy will be called assurance, and in all preparation overthrown.
Throw this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it into practice. Oh, be cunning in the working of this, and thy fee is 1,000 diamonds.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning will not fail me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Boy, senor, in my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I've come here already, sir.
I know that. I would have the hints in here again. I do much wonder that one man,
Seeing how much a fool another man is when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he had laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love.
and such a man is Claudio.
I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife.
And now he'd rather hear the tabor and the pipe.
I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. Now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. Now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes.
May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not.
I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it till he hath made an oyster out of me, so there shall never make me such a fool.
One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another, virtuous, yet I am well. Another, wise, yet I am well. But to all graces be in one woman. One woman shall never come into my grace. Rich shall be that servant. Wiser, I'll none. Virtuous, for I'll never cheat her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Noble, or not I for an angel. Mild, or come not near me. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. The prince and Monsieur Love will hide me in the arbor. Come, shall we not hear this music?
Oh, aye, my lord. See how still the evening is, as though hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See where Benedict hath hid himself.
Very well. Music and liberal his box with a pin.
Ah, come now, Antonio. We'll hear that song again.
Oh, good Lord, that's not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
Oh, it is the mark still of excellency to disguise his own It's so great a perfection. I pray thee sing, and let me woo no more.
Well, because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit, to her he thinks not worthy. Yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Nay, pray thee sing, or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do so in notes.
Well, note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting.
Is it a better crotchets which he speaks? Notes more sooth than young.
Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Men were deceivers and
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
Oh, nay, thou singest well enough for a shift. Yea, Mary Antonia, dost thou hear? I pray thee, get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
Oh, the best I can, my lord.
Yes, do so. Farewell. Come now, Leonato. What was it you were telling me earlier today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with the Signor Benedict.
Oh, aye. Nonsense. I never did think that that lady would love any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, when she had in all outward behaviors seemed ever to abhor. Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Hey, like enough.
Oh, God! Counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovered it. Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Bake the hope well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord?
did indeed.
How, I pray you? You amaze me. Now, I would have thought her spirit had been invincible to all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord. Especially against Benedict.
Taken affection, hold it up.
And hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, who have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
Ah, so says she when she is beginning to write to him. For she'll be up 20 times a night. There will she sit in her smock till she hath writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you mention a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest that your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had read it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets. Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by mine own spirit, for I would flout him if he wrote to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
And then, down upon her knees, she falls and cries and weeps and tears her hair and beats her chest, crying, "Oh, sweet Benedict, God, give me patience!"
She doth indeed! My daughter said so. And the ecstasy has so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afraid she will do a desperate outrage! Tis very true.
Well, it would be good if he knew of it by some other, if she would not discover it.
To what end? He would but make a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he would, were an alms to hang him. For she is an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
She is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my Lord. Wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body, we have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I am sorry for her, because I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. Now I would have doffed all other respects and made her half of myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it and hear what he will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die. For she says that she will die if he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die ere he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender her love, 'tis very possible he'd scorn her of it. For the man, as you all know, hath a contemptible spirit.
Here.
He is a very proper man.
Indeed, he shows a good outward happiness.
Poor God, in my mind he's wise.
Oh yes, he does show some signs that are like wit.
I at least take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you. And in the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for he either avoids them altogether, or he undertakes them with the most Christian-like feeling.
If you fear God, I must necessarily keep the peace. If you break the peace, you ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And the man doth fear God, no matter how much it may not seem in him by some large jest he will make. But I am sorry for your niece. Shall we not go tell Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell her, my lord. Never tell him. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear more of it by your daughter. I mean, I like Benedict well, and I wish he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is of such a good lady.
Oh, my lord, will you walk? At dinner,
dote upon her after this, I will never trust my expectation.
Now the same net must be cast for her. This your daughter and her gentlewoman must carry. The sport of it will be when the one holds an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene I would see, which would be merely a dumb show. Wait. Let us get her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me! Why, it must be requited! I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I receive the love come from her. They say, too, she would rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. Happy are they who hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so I cannot reprove it. And wise. But for loving me, why, my troth is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her fault, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit thrown upon me because I've railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? Man loves the meat in his youth. He cannot endure in his old age. Shall these quips and sentences and paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I would live till I were married. The Lady Beatrice, by this day she is a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in for dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank thee for thy pain.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You took pleasure then in the message.
Just so much as you may take upon a nice pointed choke-a-daw withal. You have no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
There's a double meaning. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. Well, that's as much as to say, any pains I take for you are as easy as thanks. If I do not pity her, I am a villain. I'll go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the Prince of Claudio. Whisper in her ear, and say that I and Ursula's discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower. There will she hide her to listen our propose. This is thy office. Fare thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I will make her come, and warrant you, presently.
Now, Ursula, as we trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. Yes. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter, is little Cupid's crafty arrow made, which only wounds by hearsay. Now begin. Well, look how Beatrice, like a lopin, runs close to the ground to listen our propose. The pleasantest angling is to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice. Even now lies the couch in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue. Hear the statue of the false bait that we lay for. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. Her spirits are as coy and wild as the haggards of a rock.
But are you sure Benedict loves Beatrice? So entirely?
So says the prince and my newly betrothed lord.
And did they make you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her with it. But I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with his affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Does not the gentleman deserve as fair, as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall have to know?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look upon, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And certainly, it were not good she discovered his love, else she makes sport at it.
You speak truth. I never yet saw a man how fair, how wise, young, rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If speaking, a vein blown with all wind. If silent, a block moved by none. So turns she every man the wrong way out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashion as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, Therefore, let Benedict, like a covered fire, consume inwardly, waste away in sighs. It were a better death than to die with moss, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yes. Tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and persuade him to fight against his passions. And surely I'll devise some honest slander to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy, besides my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry at me speaking my fancy. Signor Benedict, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report throughout Italy.
He hath an excellent name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, Mum? Every day tomorrow?
Come, go in with me, and I'll have thy counsel as to what should furnish me tomorrow.
She is blind, I warn you.
We have caught her now. If so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
Fires in mine ears. Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. Oh, and Benedict! Benedict? My kindness shall incite thee to find your love something on the man. Oh, well, others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it. Better than reporting it?
I only stay with you till your marriage be consummate. Then I go to Aragon.
Accompany you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, well, that would be as great a soil on the new gloss of your marriage as to give a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his coat. For from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he's all mirth. Now, he has twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him again. I mean, his heart is as sound as a banner, and his tongue is the clapper, for whatever his heart thinks, his tongue will surely speak.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
Hope he be in love.
Hang Hang him, Troupe. There's not a true drop of blood in him to be in love. If he be sad, he wants money. I have a toothache. I wouldn't draw it.
Hang it.
First you must hang it, then draw it.
Oh, what? A sigh for the toothache.
Everyone can master a grief, but he hasn't.
And yet I say he is in love.
But there's no appearance of fancy in him. Unless it be a fancy that he hath to strange disguises. For unless he has a fancy for this foolery, as it appears he hath, he is no fool for fancies you would have him appear he is.
If he be not in love with some woman, there's no believing the old signs. He brushes his hair in the morning. What should that bode?
And has any man seen him at the barber's?
No. But the barber's man has been seen with him, and already the old ornament of his cheeks doth stuff tennis balls.
Nay. Rubs himself with civet. Can you spell him out by that?
It's as much to say that the sweet youth is in love.
Oh, and the greatest note of it is his, melancholy.
Does he want to wash his face?
Aye, by that they will say of him.
Yea, and his jesting spirit just crept into his lute string and governed by stalks.
All this tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, conclude. He is in love.
Nay, I know who loves him.
Ooh, that I would know too. But I dare say knows him not.
Yes, and all of his ill conditions, and yet, in spite of all, dies for him.
Yet, is this no charm for the toothache?
It is even so. By this time, Margaret and Hero have played their part with Beatrice, and two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good evening, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private.
If it please you. Yet, Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns,
Oh, what's the matter?
means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you, discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me, by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath helped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I can hither to tell you. And circumstances shortened. For she has been too long in talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonato's hero. Your hero. Every man's hero.
Oh, no, please. Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not until further warned. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
If this be so,
I would not think it.
You dare not trust that you see. Confess not that you know. If you come with me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not wed her. Tomorrow in the congregation where I should marry, there I will shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, there tomorrow also I would shame her.
I will disparage her no further, till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly, but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
O day, untowardly turned.
O mischief strangely thwarting.
O plague, right well prevented. So shall you say, when you have seen the sequel.
Are you good men, Andrew?
Yea, else it be pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them. They have any allegiance in them being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, get in their charge, neighbor Dogbark.
Who think you the most deserves man to be constable of the watch?
You okay, sir? Or George Siegel, for he can read and write. Come hither, neighbor Siegel.
God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune. To read and write comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have! I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why, give God thanks. Make no boast of it. As for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. I say, you are the most senseless and fit man for constable of the watch. Therefore, bear your lantern. And this is your charge. You are to comprehend all vagrant men, and bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if they will not?
Why then, let them alone. And presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave. If he will not stand when he is bid, then he is none of the prince's subjects. Oh. And meddle with none but the prince's subjects. Also, you are to make no noise in the streets. For the watch to talk and to babble is most intolerable and not to be endured.
Aye, sir. We will rather sleep than talk.
Why, you speak like the most ancient and quiet watchmen. For I do not see how sleeping should offend. Only have you care that your bills are not stolen. Well, you are to call it all the alehouses, and bid them that are drunk get them to bed. And if they will not, why, let them alone till they are sober. And if they make you not the better answer, you may say that they are not the men you took them for.
Well said, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, the more is for your honor.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office, may. However, I think those that touch pitch will be defiled by it. The most peaceful way for you to go if you do take a thief would to be let him show himself what he is to you, and presently let him steal out of your company. Well, this is the end of your charge. You, Master Constable, are to present the prince's own person. You meet the prince in the night. You may stay him. Nay, my lady, that I think I cannot. 5 shillings to 1 up to any man who knows the statutes. You may stay him, Mary, not without the prince be willing. For the watch ought to offend no man. And we all know it is an offense to stay a man against his will. Yea, my lady, I think it is. Well, masters, good night. If there be any matter of white chances, call up me. But keep your fellows' counsels and your own. Good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we're here at charge. Let us go sit here upon the church steps till 2, and then all to bed.
One more word, honest neighbors! I pray thee, keep watch about Signor Leonardo's door. The wedding being there tomorrow. And the great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad? Conrad, I say!
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
Master, my elbow itched. I thought there'd be a scab follow.
Well, I will owe thee an answer for that. You have forward with thy tale.
Get thee close then under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I, like a true drunkard, will utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters. Stand close.
Therefore know that I have earned a donjon no less than 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones make what we will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. You should know that the fashion of this doublet, this hat, this cloak means nothing to this man now.
Well, it is apparel.
I mean, the fashion.
Oh, yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Tosh, I may as well say, the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed. He's been a vile thief this 7 year. I remember his name.
Tommy!
Didst thou know somebody? Not so. But know that tonight I have wooed Lady Margaret, Lady Hero's gentlewoman, by the name Hero. You see, leaves me up at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times, good night, good night, good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted, placed, and possessed by my master, did see from afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero.
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret. And partly by his moves, which first possessed him, partly by this dark night, which may have deceived him, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had already made. Away with Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet Hero the next day, as appointed, and there shame her before the whole congregation and send her home without a husband.
Where's the stand? Stand!
Masters,
Call up the right master constable. We have here the most villainous rhetoric that ever was. One of them. I know him. Hey, where's the lock?
Masters!
This deformed, you'll be made brought forth. Never speak, we charge you. Let's obey you to go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken in by these men.
Commodity question, authority. Come, we'll go with them.
What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
A brief, I pray you, for you see, it's a busy time with me.
Marry, sir, that it is.
Yes, it is, sir.
Why is it, good friends?
Good man, Bertie, sir. He speaks a little off the matter. His wits are not so blunt as God desire I wish they were. But, if they, as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God that I am honest as any man living, that is, an honest man, and honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Amorous, neighbor Vergase.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are but the poor Duke's officers. But truly, for my own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all.
All my tediousness on me.
And for 1,000 pound more than 'tis. For I hear as good exclamation on you as any man in the city. And though I am but a poor man, I am glad to hear it. And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Very sir. Our watch tonight has, except in our worship's presence, comprehended a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
Good man, Fergus, sir. He will be talking, as they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us in this world. Well said in faith, neighbor Fergus. But God's a good man, and two men ride a horse, and one must ride behind. An honest man, sir. My trophy is as ever broke bread. But, you know, God is to be worshipped, and not all men are alike.
Neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One word, sir. Our watch tonight indeed hath comprehended two auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself, and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
Shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine. There you go. Lots of wine. Very well.
Oh, they say for you to take daughter to her husband.
I will wait upon them. I am ready. Blasted wedding jitters.
And we must do it wisely. We must spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that will drive some of them to a non-com. And get ye the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
Oh! To be married to her, friar. You come to marry them.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you of any hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any count?
I dare make his answer none.
Men dare do. Men may do. What men daily do, not knowing what they do.
I don't know. Interjections? Somebody of laughing.
Friar standing by. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
What have I to give thee back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Why, nothing. Unless you were to render her again.
Sweet prince, who learned me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. See how like a maid she blushes here. Is not that blood as modest evidence to her cheeks? Would you not swear? All you that see her here, that you are made by these exterior shows. Yet she is none. She has known the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What mean you, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say. If I had known her, you will say, then she did embrace me as a husband and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonardo. I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee sing. Will right against it. Seems to me as I am her orb. Chaste as is the fire of blown. You are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wise?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
And what should I speak? I stand thus dishonored to have gone to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True? Oh, God!
Leonardo, stand I here. This is the prince's brother. Is this face heroes? Are our eyes our own?
Oh, this is so, but what of it, my lord?
But move. One question to your daughter. By that fatherly and kindly power you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee, do so, as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me. What catechizing call you this?
Did you answer truly to your name?
Is it not hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
And that can hero. Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue. What man was he? Spoke with you yesterday night outside your window. It was 12 and 1. You are a maid. Answer to this.
I spoke with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then you are no maiden. Leonardo, I'm sorry, but you must hear. Upon my honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they had had 1,000 times in secret.
5. They are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoken of. There is not chastity enough in language that offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much discovery.
Hero. What a hero hast thou been if have thy outward graces, placed about thy thoughts in the counsels of thy heart. Farewell, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. Thee I'll lock up all the gates of love. Conjecture on my eyelids shall hang, turning all beauty into thoughts of harm. Nevermore shall it be gracious.
Oh, man's dagger here. A point for me.
Oh! Oh, hero, we're forcing you down!
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother spirits up. How about the lady?
Oh, dead, I think. Oh, help, Uncle! Oh, hero, oh, why, Uncle! Oh, Senior Benedict Friar!
Oh, fate. Take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How not, hero? No.
Have comfort, lady.
Look up.
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing rise shame upon her? Could she have denied the story that is printed in her blood? Do not leave, hero! Do not open thine eyes! Or did I think thou wouldst not quickly die? Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shame myself would have been rear whenever it approaches, strike at thy life! I grieve! I had but one! Chid I for that? And frugal nature's frame? Oh, one too much by thee! Why had I one? Why ever was thou lovely in mine eyes? Why had I not with charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at my gates? Who smirch it thus and mire it in infamy, I might have said, no part of it is mine! Shame derives itself from unknown loins. I find that I was proud on, and so much that I myself was to myself not mine. Valuing of her. What is she? Oh, she has fallen into a pit of ink! The wide sea had drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little which may season give her foul, tainted flesh! Sir, be patient.
For my part, I'm so tired and wonder, I don't know what to say.
Oh, and my soul, my cousin is alive!
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although I have until this last night.
Confirmed.
No.
Confirmed.
No, no.
Oh, that stronger maid which was before bought up with ribs of iron, when the two princes lie, and Claudia lies.
Hear me a little, for I've only been silent so long, and given way into this course of fortune, by noting of a lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start in her face. 1,000 innocent shades, in angel whiteness, beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the air that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my readings, nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenure of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity. If this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some fighting air,
Fire. This cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left, and that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekst thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
lady, what man is he you're accused of?
They know they do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man than maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father!
No!
You, but I met with any man at unmeet hours, or that yesternight I exchanged the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death!
Oh, God!
There is some strange misprison in the princes.
Two of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in Don John, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
They speak but truth of thee. These hands shall tear thee. If they wrong your honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Age is not yet so dry this blood of mine, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends, nor fortune made such havoc of my means. But they will find await in such a kind both strength of limb and policy in mind, ability of means, and choice of friends to court. Love them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess, left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it, that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites which appertain unto a burial.
What would become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this will carried out shall, on her behalf, change slander to remorse. That is some good, but not for that dream I on this strange course. But on this travail, look for greater birth. She, dying, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every year. For so it falls out, that what we have, we prize not to the worth while we enjoy it. Being lacked and lost, why then we reck the value. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us, whilst it was ours. So it will fare with Claudio. When he shall hear that he died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in her precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life, into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interested his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true, let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this be level false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonardo, let the friar advise you in this. And though you know my love is very much under the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow and breathe, smallest twine maybe.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for two strange sores strangely discerning cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice. Have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I shall weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason, I do it freely.
Surely, I do believe your fair cousin is wrong.
Oh, much more a man deserve of me that would right her.
Is there any way to show such friendship?
Oh, there is such a way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It's a man's office, but not yours.
I can love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. For it was easy for me to say that I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and I lie not. I confess nothing. Oh, there's why nothing. Oh, no. Oh, I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear by your word, you need it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I'll make him eat it that says, I love you not.
Oh, will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest. I love you.
Why did God forgive me?
What offense? Sweet
Oh.
Beatrice.
Oh, well, you have stayed me in a happy hour. For I was about to protest that I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much in my heart that there is none left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for you.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You killed me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweetie.
I'm gone though I'm here. There's no love in you. I pray thee, let me go. In faith I will go.
We'll be friends first.
Oh, you dare! You dare! Easier to be friends with me than fight with my enemies?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Oh, is he not approved in the very height of villain? That have slandered, scorned, and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! Oh, wrong,
Hear me.
she's slandered, she's undone!
Hear
Oh,
me,
surely,
Beatrice.
a goodly testimony, a princely count, how confect, oh, sweet gallant is he. Oh, that I were a man. Or that I had any friend. Who would be a man for my sake? Oh. But manhood is melted into curtsies, and valor into compliments, and men are only turned into tongue and trim ones too. Oh, he is only as valiant as Hercules, who tells a lie and swears by it. Huh? I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die without grieving. I won't grieve.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
Then use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as surely as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge you. By this hand, Claudio will render me a dearer count. I will kiss your hand, and so be it. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go now and comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. So, farewell.
So a whole assembly appeared. What? A stool and a cushion for the sensitive. Mary, that am I, and my partner. Nay, that is certain. And we have the exhibition to examine.
But which be the offenders which are to be examined? Let them come to the master constable.
Mary, let them come before me. What's your name, friend?
Pray, write down Baraccio.
My name is Conrad. I'm a gentleman.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters. Do you serve God?
Yes, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. Oh, and write God first. For God defend me, God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are false knaves and will go near to be thought so shortly. How do you answer for yourselves?
None, sir. We say we have none.
Marvelous witty guy. So I will go back with them. Come you hither, sirrah. A word in your ear. I say, it is thought that you are false knaves!
I say to you, we are not.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you lit down that they are not? Master Constable!
go not the way to examine. You must bring forth the watch that are their accusers.
Mary, that's the eftest way. Sir, in the prince's name, accuse these men. This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Oh! Write down Prince John a villain! What? This is flat perjury! Call the prince's brother a villain!
Master.
Brady! Fellow, peace! I do not like thy look! Honestly!
Say else, fellow. Mary, that he received 1,000 ducats of Don John for disgracefully ruining, here before the whole assembly.
That's flat burglary.
7 was committed. Yea, by mass, that it is. What else, fellow? And Count Claudio did mean upon his words disgrace here before the whole assembly, and not marry her.
Oh! Villain! Thou wilt be condemned to everlasting redemption for this!
What else? Fellow?
This is all.
And this, masters, is more than you can deny. Prince John is this very morning secretly stolen away. Hero in this very manner accused, in this manner refused, and upon degree for this suddenly died. Let the men be bound and brought before the Leonardos. I will go before and show him the examination.
Come, let them be opinion. Let them be in the hands of
The coxcomb!
Ah! God's my life! Where's the sexton? That he may write down the prince's office a coxcomb. Come by them, I'm not too bothered.
You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, then he was here to write me down an ass! But remember, masters, that I am an ass! I will not be written down, yet forget not that I am an ass! No, Billy, thou art full of piety! And you will never be proved upon thee by good witness! I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one that knows the law, go to, and a rich fellow enough, go to, and one that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him, bring him away, that I be written down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself. And 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
Cease thy counsel! Falls into my ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give me not counsel. Nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child. Whose joy of hers is overwhelmed like mine. Bid him speak patience.
Pin not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
Ah, there thou speakst reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know. So shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Count Claudio hastily.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good day to both of you.
Here, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonidas.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Hey, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Wrong, sir.
Marry, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou. Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword, I fear thee not.
Beshrew my hand if she give your age with such cause of fear. In truth, my hand meant nothing to my
Tush, tush, man, never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool. It is under privilege of age to brag what I have done being young, or would do now were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast so wronged mine innocent child and me, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days do challenge thee to trial of a man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander has gone through and through her heart. And all this is framed by thy villainy.
My villainy.
Thine, Claudio, thine, I
You say not right, old man.
my lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare. Despite his nice fence and his active practice, his May of youth and bloom of lustihood.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so death me? If thou darest kill me, boy, thou shalt kill a man!
He shall kill two of us! Oh, and men indeed. But that's no matter. Win me and wear me, let him answer me! Come, sir boy. Oh. Come, follow me. Come, sir boy. Sir boy, I'll whip you from your boarding fence. Oh, near as I am a gentleman, I will. Brother, content yourself. What man I know them, yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple. God knows I love my niece, and she is ridiculed by villains that dares well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, jacks, milksops, hold you content. What man I know them, yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple. Scandally outfacing, fashion-monging boys that do lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically, show outward hideousness, and speak of half a dozen dangerous words. How they might hurt their enemies if they durst, and this is all. My brother Anthony!
Tis no matter.
Not you meddle.
Gentlemen both, we will not wait your patience. Now, upon my honor, your daughter was charged with nothing but what was true and very far from
Lord, my
I will not hear you.
No. Come, brother. No. Away. I will be heard.
And shall, for some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man you went to seek.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lord. You've come almost to part almost a fray.
We'd like to have our two noses snapped off with two old men without teeth.
Leonardo and his brother. Oh, what thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we would have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
And up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and fain have it beaten away. Come, wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, my lord, though very many have been beside their wit. If they draw as we do the minstrels, draw to pleasure us.
Sir, I shall need your wit in the career if you charge it against me. I pray you choose another subject.
Another staff. This last was broke cross.
By this light, I think he looks angry indeed.
He knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear? You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good. How you dare, with what you dare, when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. Let me hear from you.
Well then, I will meet you, and I may have good cheer.
What's this, a feast?
Faith, you have bid me to a calf's head and a capon, which if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife is aught. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Oh, sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
Oh, I will tell you how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. Now, I said thou hast a fine wit. True, she said, fine little one. But nay, said I, he has a great wit. Well, yes, said she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, he has a good wit. Yes, indeed, said she, for it hurts no one. Nay, said I, gentlemen, oh, he's so wise. Oh, yes, said she, a wise gentleman indeed. But nay, said I, he has the tongues. That I'll believe, said she, for he swore something to me on Monday night, which he forswore to me on Tuesday morning. There's a tongue, there's two tongues. And thus she did, in the course of an hour, transshape thy particular virtues, but at the end she does conclude that thou art the properest man in all of Italy.
For the which she wept heartily, said that she cared not.
Aye, that she did. But for all that, and if she did not hate him so deadly, she would love him dearly. Thus the old man's daughter told us.
She did indeed. It's more God's song when he was hid in the garden.
Oh, but now shall we put the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Yeah. Text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I'll leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, John, has fled from Messina. You have among you slandered a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Blackbeard here, he and I shall meet again. Till then, peace be with you.
He is in earnest.
It's profound earnest. And all, I warn you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath he challenged thee?
Most sincere.
Huh. What a pretty thing man is, when he goes about in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
He's been a giant with 8. He's an 8 doctor, such a man.
Sad you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say that my brother was fled?
Come you, sir! If justice cannot tame you, she shall never in more reasons in her palace. Nay, you be a cursing hypocrite once you must be looked to. How now? Two of my brother's men bound and brought you one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Yeah. Good sir, why are these men bound thus?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanderers. Sixthly, and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First I asked thee what they have done. Thirdly, I asked what their offense. Sixth, and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what do you lay to their charge?
Rightly reasoned, my lord, in his own division and by my trope. There's a meaning well suited.
Masters, who have you offended that you are bound thus? This, learned constable is too cunning to be understood. I pray thee, why are they bound?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to my answer. Do you hear me? And then let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdom could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light. The knight overheard me talking to Conrad and saying how your brother, Don John, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought to fortune and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments. How you shamed her when you should have married her. My villainy they have on record, which I'd rather seal with my death than repeat to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusations. Briefly, all I desire is the reward of the villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
Drink poison whilst the other did.
And did my brother indeed set thee to this?
Yes, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is confirmed treachery. He has fled upon this villainy.
Hero, now thy image doth appear the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By now our sexton hath performed, Signor Leonardo's matter. Oh, and masters, do not forget to specify on the time and place shall serve that I am an ass. Here comes Master Signor Leonardo, and the sexton too. Who is the villain? Let see. When I note another man like may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know you're wrong or look on me.
Art thou the slave with thy breath has killed mine innocent child?
Yes. Even I alone.
No. Not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. Where is fled? I thank you, Princess, for my daughter's death. Recorded with your high, worthy deeds. It was bravely done, if you think you are.
I know not how to pray your patience, if I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Said I not, but in mistaking.
And by my soul, nor I. And yet, to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any weight that he would enjoin on me.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here. How innocent she died. And if your love can labor oft in sad invention, an epitaph upon her tomb. Sing it to her. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning, come into my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost a copy of but my childhood's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your kindness don't bring tears from me. I do embrace your offer. Dispose for henceforth of poor Claudia.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect your coming. Night. I take my leave. Now, this naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who, I believe, was packed in all this wrong and hired to it by your brother.
By my word, she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me. But in all that I have known of her, has always acted justly and honorably.
Moreover, sir, and it's not under white and black, just plain here, the offender did call me an ass. Say, be remembered in her punishment. Oh, and also, the watch, heard them talk of one deformed, who has a lock by his ear and key hanging by it. I have borrowed money for so long in God's name and not repaid, that now men grow hard-hearted and will lend nothing. For God's sake, I pray you, examine on this part.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Why, you speak like a reverend and thankful youth, and I thank God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
And I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I pray your worship correct for the example of others. God keep your worship, and God restore you to your health. And I humbly give you leave to depart. Oh, and if a married meeting be wished, God prohibit it.
Until tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail you.
Tonight, I'm born with you.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret. How her acquaintance grew with this new fellow.
Sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hand by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
And will you not write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it. For a most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me. What? Shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's jaws. It catches.
And yours is as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit, but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, but I pray thee, call Beatrice.
I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. God of love, sits above, and knows me, and knows how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving. Leander, the good swimmer. Troilus, the first employer of panders. And a whole book full of these quondam carpetmongers whose names run yet smoothly if the even road of a blank verse were never so turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can think of no rhyme for lady, but baby. For scorn, form. For school, fool. Very ominous image. No, I was not born under a rhyming plant, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Lady Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I call thee?
Yea, senor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Oh, well, then is spoken. Very well. And yet, here I go. Let me go with that which I came, which is, what hath passed between you and Claudio?
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath. And foul breath is noisome. Therefore, I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of its right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge. And either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And now, tell me, for which of my bad parts did you first fall in love with me?
For all of them together, which hath maintained so politic a state of evil, that for no good part did you make all of them. Oh, but for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love. A good epithet. I do indeed suffer love, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours. For indeed, I cannot love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to move easily.
Oh, it appears not in this confession. No, there is not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in a time of good neighbors. If a man do not in this age erect his own tomb ere he dies, he will live no longer in monument than the bell rings and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
It's most expedient for the wise, if his conscience find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues as I am to mine. But so much for praising myself. who I myself will bear witness is praiseworthy. Now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God. Love me. And mend. Where will I lead you to? For here comes one in haste.
You must come to your uncle. Yonder's the old pile at home. It hath been proved that my lady hero is falsely accused. The prince and Claudio woefully abused. And yon, author of all, is fled and gone. Will you not come presently? Quiet.
Will you not come here, then, senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. Moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle.
It's the moment you're getting off.
It is.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death and guerdon of her wrongs is her fame which never dies. Life died with shame. Lives now in death with glorious fame. They have that are on their tomb, praising her while I am dumb. My bones, good night. Yearly I will do this right.
Good morrow, fellows. Put your torches out. The wolves have preyed, and look, the day round the wheel of Phoebus dapples the drowsy east with spots of gray. Fare you well. You may leave us.
Tomorrow, masters, just settle away.
Let us hence, and put on other weeds. Then to Leonato's we will go.
Lucky your issue speeds, she for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So were the prince and Claudio who accused her, upon the error that you heard debated. But, Margaret was in some fault for this. Although against her will, as it appears, in the true course of all the question.
Well, I'm glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by fate enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Now, John, and you gentlewomen all, withdrawing to a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither haste. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit you. All right, go. You know your office, brother. You must be father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me. Or undo me. Senor Leonardo, truth it is, good senor. Your niece doth regard me with an eye of favor.
That? My daughter lent her. 'Tis most true.
I do with an eye of love. Requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me. From Claudio and the prince. Oh, what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your will may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in the state of honor. Mary. Friar, I will need your help.
My heart is with your life.
And my help. Here come the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair son.
Tomorrow, Prince. Tomorrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined here today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I will hold my mind.
Call her forth, brother. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, senor. Why, what's the matter? Well, that you have such a February face, so full of frost, storm, and gladness.
Think he thinks upon the savage bull. Fear not, man. Tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee. As once Europa did at lusty Jove when he would play the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low. Some such strange bull left his father's cow and got a calf in that same noble feat, much like to you, for you had adjusted his bid.
Of this I owe you. Here come other regiments. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same machine. I do get rid of you.
She is mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No. That you shall not. Will you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her?
Give me your hand before this holy friar, and thy husband thou likest of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
One hero died to fire, but I who live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
So it's the former hero, the hero that's dead.
She died, my lord. But while her slander lived,
All this amazement can I qualify, when, after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us present.
Soft and pure, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you... love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Well, then your uncle and the prince and Claudio are deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Rob, no more than reason.
Why, then my cousins, Margaret and Ursula, are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
Oh, well, they swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, faithful and friendly recompense.
Ah, enough's enough. Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
Thou be sworn upon it that he loves her, for it's a rather halting sonnet.
And here's another, written my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle. Here's our hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. But by this day, I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you. But on this day I yield upon great persuasion. And partly to save your life, for indeed, I was told you were in a consumption.
I will stop your mouth. How now, Benedict, the married man? I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit crackers could not flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No, if a man will be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I shall think nothing to any purpose what the world may say against it. So do not flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing. And this is my conclusion. For thy part, Count Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised.
I well hoped Beatrice would have denied thee that she might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life, thee a double dealer, which out of all question thou wilt be if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, to lighten our hearts and our wives' ears.
Oh, we'll have dancing afterwards.
First, therefore, play music. Prince, thou art sad. Give me a wife. No staff, more reverent than when Troupe was born. Your brother John, has taken flight and come with armed men to Messina. Oh, think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise the brave punishment for him. Strike out pipers.